What is going on, Jerome's? Happy Monday. Happy first padded practice of Vikings training camp. This is when training camp really starts. The pads are clack-a-lackin', and it's actually football. And it's practice number 5 for the Vikings. And we were going to make like a Photoshop or a joke about incorporating Lou Bega's Mambo number 5, but I'm not feeling very good today. I don't know what it is. But anyways, here's Lou Bega. Remember that? Mambo number 5. It was good, man. But looking through here, 10 takeaways from today's first padded practice. Number 1, Daniil wants to be a Viking forever. So Daniil was back first practice after his contract got resolved for the time being, and he met with the local media jackals afterwards, and he said that back here, and he says he wants to be a Viking forever, which I would be okay with. So he's 29 in October. At the end of the season, when he's a true free agent, working out like a 2-3 year extension, which I think would carry him through the thick of his prime into age 32, roughly. Again, finding a Daniil Hunter is hard to do, right? And when you have one of those guys who play a premier position in their prime, you got to hang on to him, especially one who's been so productive as Daniil Hunter. Also, I can't wait to see how Flores is going to use Daniil, and he likes him moving forward as opposed to going backwards, dropping into coverage. And I think that 99 is going to have a phenomenal season. I think that he will remind everyone why he's an elite edge rusher. I think that at the end of the year, he'll be talked about in the same strata as TJ and Garrett and Bosa's and all that stuff. So I'm excited about it. Number 2, like we said, first full day in pads, and so the first handful of days in practice, it's funny, like linebackers and running backs are kind of invisible, and also in the trenches because you can't really do much. It's like, oh, hey, that guy was in position as the guard, cool. But guys were the pads were clacking a little bit. Awesome was flying around making plays. Lewis Seen was flying around making plays. The running backs did good as well. So it's fun because now it actually looks like football. It doesn't look like 7-on-7s, man. And also, Nick Mullins missed, reportedly with a family matter. Jaron Hall was working with the twos, and he was looking good. Like we said, he's had some ups and downs, just like any rookie would, but command at the line of scrimmage. He certainly has an NFL arm, especially outside the numbers, good accuracy, as well as pocket movement and manipulation. Now, Jaron Hall ran a pretty good 40 for a quarterback, but he's not a running quarterback, but he's a quarterback who can run, if that makes sense. And that would bring a new dimension to the Vikings offense if indeed he does become the guy down the line. But we're a little bit ahead of ourselves. But these extra reps are really important for him, especially as we get into preseason. I mean, Jaron Hall could be something special, man. I guess we'll see. And also, it's interesting that the first preseason game is in Seattle since he's compared to Russell Wilson so much. Number 4, Lewis wants to be seen. So Lewis Seen, made the highlight play on Saturday, that diving interception in front of Jalen Reagor, and now he's flying around making plays in 11-on-11s, 1-on-1s, and he's motivated. He's got that chip on his shoulder. He's coming back from injury, and don't think for a second. So the whole thing. Players said that they don't pay attention to the hype. They hear it. Like Lewis Seen hears, and people around Lewis Seen, like, they hear the criticism. They hear the fans saying, like, oh, he's a bust. They could have taken Kyle Hamilton. Oh, da. Yeah. Well, Lewis Seen just wants to come in, stack bodies, and he wants to prove all the haters and the losers wrong. I think he'll have a shot. And even though the Vikings defense, it seems already spoken for the safeties with Harrison, Beasley, and Metellus, but it's going to be hard to keep Lewis Seen off the field, and wherever he is on special teams, on defense, I think that he's going to have a really special season, man. Next up, number 5. So first-team cornerback rotation. Initially, through the first handful of practices, that is offense, the first-team corners were Jawan Williams and Caleb Evans on the outside, Byron Murphy working in the slot. On Saturday, it was Andrew Booth Jr. working in for Jawan Williams, and today it was a lot of Mekhi Blackman working in with the ones, especially in red zone. So it's important to note that it seems like Evans and Murphy are your 2 starters right now, because it was Murphy and Evans when they're in base defense with only 2 cornerbacks. And the other spot is open right now with Williams, Booth, and Blackman starting to get a rotation going. But also, I mean, that could just be how it's going to be, where Evans and Booth are your 2 mainstays, and then it's a rotation based on matchup, because Williams, Booth, and Blackman, they all bring their own attributes to the table, but they're certainly all very different. I mean, Joanne Williams has that size on the outside, can match up with move tight ends or larger receivers. Booth is a good mix of both, good blend of size as well as agility and ability when he's on the field, as well as Blackman, inside-outside ability from his time at Colorado and USC. So I think it could be a spot where they are rotated more than we're used to, as well as used in specific matchups, which would kind of be okay. Speaking of Blackman, so Addison and Jordan Addison and Mekhi Blackman, so they go back to USC. Blackman would request to cover Addison in practice, and that carries over. Where it's you start seeing like a week into practice, like the receivers and DBs get sick of each other, and sometimes they start swinging. Jamison Williams, famously, who the Vikings traded down for, and the Lions traded up for and drafted, he took a swing at undrafted free agent today because he made a play on the ball, whatever. But I mean, the Addison-Blackman rivalry, not even rivalry, like they're just going to make each other better. And, there's friendly talk back and forth, each making plays back and forth, and, iron sharpens iron and all that stuff. And Jordan Addison also had himself a day, too. Caught a couple nice balls from Kirk Cousins, including a touchdown in red zone. And it's just good, man. Just really good. Also good was Tristan Jackson. So he made the highlight play of the day. Well, highlight play of the day because you have to take out Justin Jefferson, otherwise no one else would win. But Tristan Jackson in one-on-ones caught a dime from Kirk Cousins, one-handed catch while falling down. And like we said, even though the receiver room is pretty crowded, I do think that Jackson could potentially push for that wide receiver 5 spot or a practice squad spot. Even though you do have guys like Powell and Rager and Lucky Jackson and Prohl and Thayer Thomas all up in there as well. And then, so Dwayne McBride. The running backs were running a lot of, doing some pass work today, both pass protection as well as running routes. And, the whole knock on Dwayne McBride, because he had like 2 career catches at UAB, it's not that he can't catch. It's that the Blazers offense was so predicated about him running the ball, they didn't really bother, right? And that's going to be the thing for McBride is he only going to be a 2-down tyrant where he's going to be in on first and second down? When he's in, you're probably going to run it. You don't have to worry about play action. Or is he going to be a guy that can show that he can pass block, that can show that he can be a receiver? And it really is like a rock, paper, scissors. Like, hey, when McBride is in, you know that you're not just going rock. Like, you can do paper or scissors. And I do think that is the thing that could keep him from being a true starting running back, is that if he can get his pass protection and route running ability and hands together, I mean, McBride could be that guy. He could be running back 1 down the line. Had a couple nice catches today. Number 9. Byron Murphy, trial by fire. So Murphy has been on the butts of a couple of the highlights by Justin Jefferson, just out there putting on a show and that stuff, but it is making him better every single day. And Murphy, I mean, by and large, has had himself a very decent training camp as well. Had a nice pass broken up in the red zone today. And I think that the Vikings, they got themselves, I mean, we're just running the gong show of getting Arizona cornerbacks, because we had Patrick Peterson for a couple of years, Byron Murphy coming in for Arizona, also wearing number 7. Who else are we getting from Arizona? Who are they drafting in the first round next year? And after Murphy's done, we'll just take him, all that stuff. But Murphy is going to be the leader out there in that cornerback room, playing on the inside and the outside. And the fact that he gets to go up against Justin Jefferson every day, it's only going to help him. And then also, lastly, no change with Brian O'Neill. Oli Udoh still in at starting right tackle, as well as no update and nothing new about Jalen Naylor, who apparently had a lower leg injury after the first day of practice, which really sucks because Naylor looked really good the first day of practice. He's been inactive ever since. But that's it. That's it. 10 takeaways from the Vikings' first padded practice on Monday. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.